Okay, can people hear me well? Okay, perfect. Then I guess I will start the workshop. And let me see. Okay, the YouTube is working as well. So hello everyone, I'm Yuto. I will be talking about Introduction to Figma today. And I'm currently a master's student studying interaction design at California College of the Arts. And for this summer, I'm an AR product design intern with Facebook. Before that, I also interned with Microsoft as well. The one thing in common between those companies is that they all use Figma. So even if you're not a designer, you can still be like an awesome cross-functional partner to use Figma to work together. So let me start share my screen. So yeah, this is the Figma thing I'm talking about. So basically it's a web app and everyone can actually access it. I will actually try to share the link. So if you actually want to hop into the file, you can do that. Let me try to send in Zoom as well. Here. So I only allowed people to view so that like things won't be like too chaotic. But in the future, I will show like how to share with edit assets as well. And when you're in, there's a really handy feature for Figma. So for example, if I copy two files here, let me try to make things side by side. So you can probably see like my cursor like on the left screen, like trying to move. And if I actually like go to this screen, you can actually see like my yellow cursor. So in that case, if I want to like see someone's screen, I can actually click on the name, for example, and then my screen will turn to the color of the cursor. And then whenever I move to everywhere, zoom in or try to zoom in, you will be able to follow my screen. So for people who want to like follow my cursor, you can just click on my name. I'm like Yuto, like right here. You can click on my name and then follow my cursor so that it can be easier for you to navigate with me. And to start with, I will quickly talk about like the panel. So for the top panel, you got to choose between like cursors and like other like Figma settings for file, objects, and other stuff. And then you can also like create a canvas or slice here. I will go into more detail within like 1 second. And then here you can create shapes. And if you want to create vector, you can do that as well from here. And this is for text. And for this, you can like navigate through the whole canvas as well. And I will talk about like the common feature later. And then on the left side, we have, for the left panel, we have different pages so that you can keep like everything in the file without like having too much things around. And then down below here, we have like layers. So for the pound key, for the pound sign, it stands for like a canvas or the frame. And within that, you can have like other frames, images, tags, and like other components as well. And that's pretty much about the left side. And on the right side, we can see their design panel and prototype panel, and also like the inspect panel as well. So for design, you can like, let me just switch back to cursor. You can like define things for like constraints, also like images, add stroke, fill with color. For example, you can do basically everything about design here. And then for the prototype part, I will talk about it in detail in the prototype section. Basically, you can define clickable prototype and like add simple animation between different components as well as pages. And then finally, for the inspect part, you will be able to see the properties of like different elements, and you can generate different codes. I think, yeah, they have like the web version and also iOS and Android version as well. And after like all those menus, I will start to dive into our first section, which will be frames. So frame is, oh yeah, for those who just joined, if you want to like follow my screen, you can just click on my name on the top right. So I'm Yutong. You can click on my name so that you can follow my cursor. So for frames, it's like canvas. So basically you can create, click on the top left here, there's a frame section. You can use the shortcut F or shortcut A as well. So you can define like your own frame, and within that you can like add different shapes. And if you click the shortcut for frame, you'll be able to see on the right side, there are actually like many predefined sizes for you. So for example, if I want to create prototypes for iPhone 11, I can just click that and it will just show like right here for me. And then you can search like, for example, iOS UI elements and Figma on Google, and they have like a dedicated resources for you to just copy paste into your file as well. And then Figma also support like presentations and also like paper sizes as well. So it's pretty powerful for you to like basically do everything within Figma. And that's pretty much about frame. And then for this, before I talk about components, so this is the shortcut that I use mostly. So if you want to see a complete list of shortcuts, you can go over to the bottom right here. There's a help and resources section. They actually have a really nice support forum and also like many nice tutorial videos. So you can look into that if you want to learn more. And for the shortcut, it's right down here, keyboard shortcuts. If you click, it will open up like a whole category of things that you can look into if you're curious about. And they also like add how like command and click. This is like how you can inspect things. And yeah, it's just a nice thing to look into. And then let's talk about components a little bit. So for components, they actually enable you to like keep a consistent design or create like the same objects. So for example, if I want to recreate this section right here, it can be a little bit time consuming. And if I want to create, for example, five of them, it will be like more time consuming than you expected. So let's do this. Click. So select the whole thing. And then using right click, you will be able to see an option, create component, and you can use the shortcut as well. I normally don't use the shortcut that frequently. So create component, as you notice, it's turning like into purple color, and you can see there are like 4 little dots that distinguished from other elements. We can try to move it down in the chat here. So for the icon with like 4 dot elements, it's like our master instance. So if I copy and paste this master instance, if you can notice like on the left side here, it actually changed like to an empty space. So what does that mean? So for example, if we want to change name to Tommy across like all of the components, it would do that for us. And if we don't want like the last sentence, thank you, that was nice, you can do that. And whatever, like whenever you add it on the master component, it will apply the change to like all other instance component as well. However, if you want to like modify things a little bit, for example, change that to row can, you can do that as well, and that won't actually affect the master components. So if you define a master component, you can use that to control other instance component, while you can also like alter the design for the instance component as well. So that's pretty much about the component. And then let's see. So yeah, I only allow, I think, view assets for you guys, so you guys may not be able to edit the file, but yeah, in the future you guys can do that, because whenever you register for your new Figma account, they will share like a more complete version of onboarding for you. You can try them all out. However, some are more like design specific, so I won't cover them for today. And then the next thing, the next handy thing will be style. So style is used to create consistent design and save your time when you want to make changes as well. So for example, let's take a look at this screen. Let me just change that to some random color. And then let me maybe just bold that text. So as we can see here, the style is like not consistent. If we want to change that, we may have to change this to black and then bold this text. However, if you have, for example, more than 5 or 10 elements to change, it can be really time consuming. So to do that, you can actually define, let's try to define a color style first. So as you can see here, so here's the color, so the fill section, here's the color for the text. And if you click on the 4 dot, you will be able to create a style. You'll be able to see like previous style that I defined like within my team as well. And we can just add a style like really black and then create the style. And then as you can see in the fill section, it's actually applied with the style here. And then let's do that for, yeah, I cannot really distinguish. Okay, so if you hover on that, you can actually see the name so that you can make sure what you select is correct. And then change this to really black as well. Although the color don't really change for the first and third one. However, in the future, for example, I don't really like really black. If you want to change the color, you can click on like show as list on the top right. And then you can alter the color here. For example, I want it to be really blue, I guess. And then you can change the color here. I will just select a random color. Okay, this is blue. Okay. So in that case, the change will apply to all text so that you don't have to do that like one by one in the future. And let's take a look at the text style as well. So for example, I love it to be regular in the chat section. So under the text section here, you will be able to see the 4 dot as well. And you can like, this is a predefined thing. I can add another one, for example, chat message, create style. And then you can apply the same style for other texts as well. So if you notice, when I apply the chat message here, it actually like unbold the text. So in the future, for example, I want it to be bolded. I can actually click into that and hover in the section. There will be an added option for me. I can make things to be bold, and I can even like change to maybe other font as well, and maybe change the font size. Oh, I said, yeah, change the font size as well. So that kind of mess things up. Yeah, let me just go back. Okay, so this is pretty much about text style and color style. And you can build your own color or text hierarchy or system within your file. And or actually, if you build within the team, it's actually visible to like all the team members. And then for the next thing, it's a really nice feature as well. So it's a common feature. It actually helps with async collaboration or like critique section as well. So it's on the top left here. There's a chat bubble icon. If you click to that or use shortcut letter C, you can actually drop like pinpoint a comment. For example, this was the comment I left. For example, I want this image to be something else. I can just drop my pin on the image and then say, I want another image. And then you can also, yeah, add an emoji here if you want to, and then click post. So within the comment section, you can resolve the comment, edit the comment, copy the link or delete the comment, or you can even create a thread here, like +1. And then people will be able to see the comments when they're in the comment section. So if I click on like the cursor on the top left here, I will not be able to see any comments. However, if I go back to the section, I will be able to see like everything here. And also like on the right panel as well, there's a comment section. And yeah, that's pretty much about comment. And then last but not the least, it's important for you to share your file across the team and even to other people as well. So to click share, it's on the top right. There's the blue button. So as you can see, like there's so many people here. I think they support like maybe more than 100 people in the file simultaneously. So you don't have to worry about yeah, if you're hosting a large event. And then here, there's an option to copy link, and within like anyone with the link, you can like define like how you want the assets to be, and then you can change assets for like other people as well. One interesting thing is that, for example, let me just find, for example, I really want people to look at this individual chat frame when people enter the Figma. So I will select this frame and then click share. And then here there's a link to selected frame has been checked. So now if I'm actually open the link in another file, yeah, you will be directed to this like specific frame right away. So that's an important feature to have when you want to help people navigate through things. And yeah, that's like pretty much about the basics of Figma. So I think in the last 10 to 15 minutes, we will have a dedicated Q&A section, but please feel free to drop any questions in the chat in YouTube or Zoom, like whenever you have one. And then the next thing I will quickly talk about how to present in Figma. So if you want to go to that page, so on the top left, there's a present in Figma in pages. You can use that to switch to different pages. And again, if you want to follow my cursor or my screen within the file, you can just click on my name so that you will see what I see. And here, as I mentioned before, if you're creating a frame, there will be like many size options for you. And let's take a look at how to present, like for example, our prototype. So here I have an iPhone 11 Pro Max template. So if I want to do, for example, I want to add like the phone like outside of the frame so that it look really like a phone. I can go to the top right, there's a prototype section, click on that. I think, yeah, outside of like click outside, and then there's other than like presentation, you'll be able to see like all kinds of things here. So for me, I will click on iPhone 11 Pro Max. And then I can change, like, as you can see, there's a preview here, and I can also change the orientation, and I can even change the model color. For example, I'm really into space gray, and then I can modify the background as well. Let's still use black, I guess. So if now I click play, it will actually show like my prototype with a phone frame so that I don't have to find a phone frame from elsewhere. So that's pretty handy. And here you can, yeah, you can actually like rescale things a little bit if you want, and you can always restart. Let's see, yeah, restart right here or with the control letter R. And if you only want to share the prototype with other people, you can click here. So on the top right, share prototype. So when people click into a link, they will only be able to see the prototype instead of like your Figma file. Then let's go back. So now I want to make a presentation on Figma. So the process is actually really similar. So under the device, under prototype, the device section, instead of like the iPhone model, I will go with presentation. And here, maybe I will go with the pink background, I guess. And then select this frame, hit play. It will show like my presentation. Like I can always go back if I want to, and I will show you guys how to define your own interaction in the next section. So here you can actually present via Figma, so that's pretty convenient. And yeah, this is pretty much how you will present with Figma. And then if you want to go to the next section, so it's down in the page, there's a third section called Prototyping Figma. So if you click on that, you will go to the third page. So here, as you can see, I think this is what you generally see when you go to a designer's file. You will be able to see like high fidelity screens, and also you will be able to play with the clickable prototype that they have as well. So I will show you guys how to do that. And before that, let's take a look at how to do like easy transitions. So if you want to define, for example, when I click the bottom register, I want to be directed to the register page, of course. So if we want to define that, we will go to the prototype section. It's like on the top right. And then as you can see, like things change a little bit. You can actually see like an arrow, a start button, and also you can see like how other things are like connect together. So if we want to define, for example, register to, yeah, I already draw a link here. I'll delete that. if we actually want user to be transitioned to the next screen when they click register, we will select this element first, and then we will draw an arrow to this page. And then there will be a pop-up window to ask about like the interaction details. For example, I want it to be on click. There are also like other options, hover, mouse enter, mouse up. You can look into that if you're interested. And then we will define like what's gonna happen. So normally we will use navigate for like page transitions. I will talk about like overlays in the next section as well. So let's still go with navigate too. And then since we already like drag the arrow, most of the time we don't have to worry about like which page it will go into. So, but if you want to define like the arrow to another page via this section, you can totally do that. And then for the next section, we have animation. So other than instant, we actually have like many choices. For example, I guess we will have moving, I guess, and then we can actually modify the direction of animation, and then they will actually show. So for page A, that's like our starting page, and for page B, that's like our new page. So I think in that case, so it should be moved from right to left because that's how a new screen overlay on like the previous screen. And here we can choose like how the animation is going to be as well, and then define like the time for the animation. And here, let's see how it's like. So for this start icon, you can actually drag it to anywhere. So whenever you press start, it will actually start from the starting screen right away. So hit play. And then here's the screen. When we try to click elsewhere, as you may notice, so the bottom red will actually have the light blue overlay to like indicate, hey, you should click here. So if I click here, and yeah, this is like my next screen. So that's like the basics of how transition works in Figma. And then let's go back to the page. And then I think yeah, this is for a login page. And then let's take a look at this page. Let me drag the start button over here. And then let me show you guys how it's like. So as you can see, so back in the file, we are supposed to support a horizontal scroll animation. However, in like Figma, we cannot do that. And also, let me try to fix this thing. So if you notice, here that I'm sorry about like the overlay. So if you notice on the top status bar, it will go away if we keep scrolling down. And also for now the app don't actually support a horizontal scrolling action. So if we want to support that, so for example, we want to fix the status bar first. So you just click on that. And under the design section, there's an option fix position when scrolling. So if you click that, and let's try, I think, yeah, there's a live update. So if you notice, the status bar will now like go with like fixed position on top of the screen whenever like you're trying to scroll to. And then let's see how can we support the scrolling feature. So for scrolling, one thing you should know about is scroll is part of the overflowing behavior, and it's like only supported by frame. So if you want to support any like overflow scrolling action, the first thing you want to do is to group everything in the frame. So I'm holding shift while I'm selecting elements, so everything will be selected together. And then I'm using command plus G to group everything together. And you can also like use right click, and there will be an option for group selection as well. And since we're creating a frame, we can actually use the frame selection option as well, but you can always create a group and then translate them to a frame. Let's use frame selection, and then within the frame, and go to top right, the prototype section. There will be an option for you to ask for overflow behavior, and then you can just click horizontal scrolling. And then I think this should work. Let's see. Let me try to refresh this page. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, let me double check to see what things is. This is weird. Let me see. Let me see if I can solve this within 30 seconds. Otherwise, I will send you guys another tutorial to watch. Sorry about that. Let me see what is going on. This is getting really weird. I'm trying to see if I can solve this. Let me see if this works. Okay, well, never mind. Horizontal scrolling. And this is how you would do when you run into a problem. I'm sorry about that, but they really have a dedicated tutorial for you. For example, telling you how to scroll with Figma, scrolling with like horizontal overflow, within like a forum. And they also have like official videos to tell you about how to do that. So if you're interested, you can look into that. But yeah, that was basically the idea. I'm not sure what go wrong, but yeah, normally you will just have frame selection of everything, and then under the prototype section, you will allow horizontal scrolling. Apparently, there's a notification. Let me see. Oh, I can actually. The content needs to be bigger than the frame. Oh, I think I get it. So, oh yeah, I think I'm missing one thing. So basically, if you want to allow that, you will have to change the frame size to make sure it's the same, for example, as like how you want it to be. And now this should work. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, I'm missing like a really important thing. So again, just to recap, basically, the first thing you wanted to do is to allow frame selection. So you want to make everything into a frame. And then under prototype, you will allow for horizontal scrolling. And then the next thing you do is to change the frame size. For horizontal scrolling, we will make sure, for example, it's like no larger than the phone width. So for vertical scrolling, you will want it to make sure it won't exceed like the phone height as well. So this is how it works. I just figured it out. Um, and then another interesting thing to look at will be like, I think this is pretty handy. So for example, if I want to search for something, normally when we're using our phone, like the keyboard will just like slide up like this. And we can also create this animation in Figma as well. And let me show you how to do that. And the first thing is to delete what I previously done. And then, so the thing works the same for every interaction, basically. So when I click on the search bar, I want a keyboard to show. So I will actually drag the thing to the keyboard. As you notice, the keyboard is like only itself, it's not within like a phone size frame. So for things, so for overlay things, you don't have to define like a full size because they will be like stick to the current screen. So you don't have to worry about that. And here, the action will still be on click. So, and here instead of navigate to, we actually want to open overlay because we want to like open the keyboard, make it slide up. So click open overlay. And then here there are like many options that you can select it. So for the keyboard, it's showing up from bottom to top. So we will select this bottom center option. And then there's an interesting thing. So close when click outside, we can try that. And also, I don't think we need to add background, but I can quickly show you how it's like. So basically it will add an overlay. And then for the animation, we will definitely have moving because that's how like overlay shows. And here, again, we can define like how things are going. Again, A is the previous screen and B is like our new screen. So I want the animation to be moved from bottom to top. So I will select the top arrow and you can see preview from here as well. And then I guess I will not change like how the animation is moving, but you can totally like play with that if you're interested. So after that, let's just go back. And yeah, as you can see here, there's actually a black or grayish overlay, transparent overlay here. And then if I click outside, my keyboard will actually disappear. And then click back, it shows up, click outside, it disappears. So this is like how overlay works in Figma. And then there's also, I guess, an interesting thing to notice. So for example, if I have like a whole grid of pictures and for example, I want to make this one, because I think this one is more cute, so I want to move it to the front. So normally what people would do is they will try to, for example, let's go back to design so that's easier. We will move like this and then move like that. And then, yeah, try to align things. So whenever you align things well, there will be a red line and will be a little bit stopped so that you know you're doing the right thing. So, and then if I change my mind a little bit, I will have to do the thing that's like too time consuming. So Figma now have this nice feature. So now if we want to move like this picture to the bottom again, let's select everything together with Shift. So pressing Shift while you're selecting things so that everything is selected. And as you can see here, there's actually a pink dot. So if you click on that, you can actually move things around easily. And the same thing applies for like other images as well. Let me try if they work for like 2x3. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky if you're like using that, but they work pretty well if things are like within the same line. And maybe 2x2 as well. Nope. Yeah, they work mostly they work the best with like a line of things so that it's really easy for you to just swap the picture real quick. And then let me see if there's anything else that I really want to cover. Yeah, so let's see an interesting thing. So for example, I have a logging bottom here. I have register bottom here as well. So for example, if I want to have, let's just get a random thing, join my club. Okay, as you may notice, like the bottom size don't actually change. So for example, if you like have a really long bottom, it will actually go outside of the screen. So if you want to like constrain things within the bottom, like with the same distance, you can do that within Figma as well. So let's define a nice, let's keep it as login maybe. And then now with everything selected here, click on the like use right click, and there's an option for you to add auto layout. So if you click that on this element, it will actually make it a frame, and also it will just keep the spacing and every else the same. So for example, if I'm creating another thing here, and let me try to wait. Maybe I'm not using this because it's an instant. Let me create something simple. Let's have walking. And then let's just make a similar things right away and also to show how things are made. And yeah, so for this bottom, as you can see, they actually defined a round angle. If you want to do that, you can actually really easy. Yeah, there's a round like corner radius option. For example, let's have like 20, too big, and then 10. Maybe 8-ish will be better. Yeah, and then if you want to define only for one angle, you can click like here, independent corners, so that you can define it as you want. So I think it's the same as how you define round angles in CSS as well. So this is like the top left, and then top right, bottom right, and then bottom left. So they're like the same thing. And then as we can see, there's actually a black stroke around the bottom, and we can do that as well. And then here you can modify how thick you want it to be. Let's have 2 maybe. And then you can also change like if you want it to be outside or inside. Let's keep it inside because it looks better. So here we actually have the bottom. So there's the text and there's the rectangle, and you can see that from here. So let me try to create a frame to sit everything here. Maybe make it black. Change the color. Maybe not black, I guess. Grayish. And then just move. Ugh. And then we can just move everything here. And then now we have our bottom as separate elements. If I do right click and group selection or Command plus G, they will actually be like become a thing that you can drag around. They're like a little component now. And then another thing is to add auto layout, as I just mentioned. And then if you create another element, if you can notice, like it will actually adjust the spacing. So to check the space, let's do that as well. To check the space, you can like select the element and press Alt. So I'm using a Windows keyboard. So on the Mac, I think it's Option. Yeah, I think it should be Option. And then it will actually show the spacing. And let's see for this bottom as well. So it's the same. It's 57 and 18. Again, it's 57 and 18. So in that case, you can keep like your elements with the same spacing, especially if you want to create a tab bubbles, because for those kind of bubbles, things are the same. If we want to, for example, do the bubble thing, we definitely want to make that make the round corner angle 100%. And yeah, this is like what you can create. Copy paste something else. And this is like auto layout for elements. And then another handy thing for auto layout is, for example, let's define the space a little bit. Maybe to be 10 between those elements. And then if you select both of the elements and then add auto layout, the same distance will actually apply between them. So if you can see, it will be like horizontal. I can make the frame a little bit bigger. So it doesn't matter where you're creating things, and you can also feel free to drag them around. So it's like really easy when you want to, just change things. And as you can see, you can like always modify or rename things here so that it's easier for people to look at. And that's like pretty much about things within Figma. If you're interested in like for example, I want to change avatar picture for people here. There are also like many powerful plugins. Yeah, I think I have that too. So if you want to use a plugin, so go to the Figma icon and there's a plugin section. And here I already pre-download this, but if you want to like see more plugins, just click browse plugins in community and we can take a quick look. Yeah, there are like basically so many things here that you can look into. So with those plugins, most of the time it will make your design easier and like more constant. And they're also like start. So for that, it will actually support accessibility for your product if that's like what you need. And there are like basically so many things to add things and to make for example the export process easier. Let's go back and let's try to apply the avatar plugin. So if I do that, yeah, it just changed to someone else. And I think I can just apply it all together. So for this plugin, you're not allowed to choose like who's gonna be appear here, but I know for like other more advanced avatar plugin, you can actually define like the gender and even the race or like and ages of how like people you want to appear on the avatar section. And then let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, this is actually another interesting thing. So basically, for example, if I have a page here that I really want to use this page in Figma, I can just copy the link and then go back to Figma and then run this Figma to HTML, CSS, React plugin. And then use like the link here and then select import. Hopefully it won't actually take a couple of minutes, but yeah. So with this plugin, it will actually, yeah, as you can see here, turn the page to a Figma file. So although as you can see, there's something that's a little bit messed up, but yeah, you get a Figma file basically for a Google page. And I think it works for like other stuff as well. Basically, again, you still have to do like a few cleanup to make sure like things are working. But yeah, it's just nice. And I think they can do like vice versa to export a Figma file to HTML, CSS code. But I don't expect that to work well though. So be careful about that. And yeah, that's I guess a glimpse of Figma. Basically, you can do so many things, and I'm just showing like, I don't know, a little bit about it. So yeah, and yeah, delete all those rectangles. So that's useful for next time. Move things around. And yeah, that's pretty much about Figma. And I think we still have around 17 minutes so that I will use that time for questions. And let me see. Please like feel free to drop any questions. I will monitor the YouTube page as well. Let me see if there's any questions. Do you have the checking code? Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. Again, just feel free to drop any questions. Like maybe not only about like what I just talked about, but basically anything if you're curious about Figma. I know like they keep releasing like new features that I'm not aware as well, but they have a really nice community support for you. Yeah, I guess I will be waiting here for around 5 minutes to see if there's any questions dropping. So Serena asked, what are all of the purpose Figma can be used for? So yeah, as I mentioned before, Figma is pretty powerful. So while it's mainly for designers, but now they can support, for example, presentation, like I just mentioned, and also they have that FigJam. I think I can quickly show you. So if we look into that page, within FigJam, people can actually like work together, like a whiteboard section. They can draw things, drop things. It will be a nice, for example, brainstorming sections here. And then you can do diagrams. That would be pretty handy for engineers, I would say. And then you can always connect back to your design with the FigJam option. So and yeah, you can have really nice stickers and emojis during the section. It's a pretty nice online collaborate feature that they just released. So if you're interested, you can definitely look into that. And other than that, I think Figma is nice for another thing is that it's a web app. So it does have a desktop version, but I'm not sure if anyone actually use that. So on the web, if in the future you're working for a company or working for a team, you can actually build your own like team or company library. So in that case, you can actually have access to like so many resources, and in that way, like everyone is working together to cultivate a nice cross functional experience. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much what Figma can use for basically everything, I would say. It depends on how you want it to be. And then for the next question, do you think Figma will be good for web stores, like creating an interface for one? Yeah, I think so. I think it definitely work in that way. Basically, you can use Figma to create interfaces for everything. So let's do, I guess, a quick example here, a rough example. So if I want to create a web page, again, I will start with getting a frame. And here I have like desktop version. I will go with MacBook Pro, for example. And here, this can be my web page. And then I can name it as my store. And then I can have welcome. I'm just doing things like really rough here, but you can definitely utilize like pre-built kit. For example, there can be a web store template that you can just copy paste. And then you can have, for example, a call to action button here. And then if you want it to be longer, you can just like make your frame to be longer. And then if you allow for, I don't know, you can allow for like carousel images, and you can, as I mentioned before, they allow like horizontal and vertical scroll. So it will be really easy for you to basically create any prototype here. And again, if you want to export, you can find code here, like some code for the elements here, so that it's easier for the engineers to build when they have to refer to the CSS code. I think I can quickly show my portfolio as well. Yeah, I built my portfolio using Figma. It's really convenient. And then I plan to use like other platform. So as you can see here, this is my page. I can try to play it. Yeah, so this will be my future portfolio, and they support link as well. Basically, yeah, you can, it will direct to my LinkedIn profile, and also I link my email, Medium, and then they also support like yeah, basically everything that you want to have on a web page. And they have scroll, and you can have a fixed site menu here as well. So it's pretty convenient. Basically what you create will be look like the root website. For example, the zoom in and zoom out section here. And then, yeah, maybe a slideshow if you're interested. And yeah, hopefully that answers your question. And yeah, someone asked about if there's a chat function on Figma. So basically for chat, I think most of the time people still use like other things to chat. For example, I don't know, Discord maybe. But if you want to do an async comment section, you can use the comment feature or use letter C to drop a comment. And then in that way, people can reply under this thread and then sort of chat together, but it's like almost mostly for critique sections or like async sections. I don't think they support live chat. So most of the time, I would say, especially in remote settings, people still use, for example, Discord or Zoom, so that they have like the access to audio, and then they will use Figma for like critique sections so that it's easier. Then let me see. Would you say Figma is beginner friendly or it will take a bit of time to get used to? So that's a good question. I think if you have prior experience in, for example, Sketch or Adobe XD, Figma is pretty much the same. They even share the same or most of the part like the same shortcuts, so that you don't really have to worry about that. And also, if you really want to know more about Figma, I think they do have like a set of Figma tutorial. Let me see. Yeah, I think they do have a dedicated YouTube channel here. Basically, you can find everything from Welcome to Figma, and then there's a Figma for Beginners course. I will zoom in a little bit so that you can see. So basically, they will tell you, yeah, it's a series of 4 videos. Basically, within, I guess, an hour, at most, you will be able to get hands-on experience and get more familiar with Figma. So it's beginner friendly, I would say, if you really want to learn more about a design tool or how to collaborate with other people. So I highly recommend that, because for Sketch and Adobe XD, they they don't have a nice support for online real-time collaboration. And then how would you rate its beginner friendliness from 1 to 10? Yeah, so I think it depends on who you're comparing with. So if comparing with Adobe Suite, I think it's like 2 or 3. If you're comparing with other design tools, I think it can be around 4-ish or something. Overall, I think it's pretty simple to it's easy to get used to it. And they also have, like, other than YouTube videos, they also have a forum, and you can always ask for support. So they have a nice community to help you to start to using the tool. So yeah, I think it's a pretty simple and nice tool to get some experience with. And yeah, I hope that addressed your question. And let me see if there's anything on YouTube. What do you mostly use Figma for in your work or personal projects? Yeah, so for my work, maybe during the internship, for example, we all use Figma not only to do our work, but also to do brainstorming sections and critique sections, and also like live collaborations sessions where everyone can work together. And also, since Figma is a web app, they have like a nice library support. We can look into what other teams are working on, and also like ask them questions, drop comments as well. So basically, it's a nice tool to collaborate with people, not only just with designers, but also with engineers, PM, and also even like marketer and other people as well. And then for my personal projects, yeah, as I just showed, I use Figma to build my portfolio, and also I actually use Figma to keep a record of like all of my previous digital work, so that I don't have to create a Google Drive and things are a little bit messy there. I think it's more easy to view things in Figma, so I use Figma I guess for the most of the time. And yeah, I think that's all of the questions I got from both the chat and YouTube videos. If you have like anything else, just let me know. Yeah, so since I don't see any new questions kicking, I guess that will be it for today. So thank you everyone for listening, and I hope this helped. And yeah, again, if you have any questions, I guess you can reach out to me or like find things on YouTube or yeah, and also like there's a Figma forum. Let me see. Yeah. Under community, there are like so many things for you to look into as well. And yeah, overall, Figma is a nice tool, and I hope you enjoy the section. So yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice time hacking, guys. Bye.